Welcome back to Calm Investors. I am Ruth.
And I am Patrick. Episode 7 of Season 0 and Ruth. I have to ask, are we really about to talk about careers on a finance show?
I knew you were going to ask that.
I mean, I love what we have been doing. Mindset, spending, debt, emergency fund, insurance, paying yourself first. All of that makes sense on a finance show, but careers? Income? That feels like a different topic.
And I completely understand why it feels that way. But let me ask you something. What is the source of all the money we have been talking about? The money you track, the money you use to pay off debt, the money you save, the money you will eventually invest. Where does it all come from?
My job, my income.
Your income. Everything we have talked about for 6 episodes flows from one source. Your ability to earn money. And that ability, your skills, your experience, your reputation, your network. That is what economists call human capital. And here is the thing most people do not realize. Your human capital, your career, your ability to earn, is your biggest financial asset, especially when you are young.
My biggest financial asset? Bigger than any investment?
Think about it. If you are 25 years old and you earn $50,000 a year, and you work for 40 more years, your total lifetime earnings are at least $2 million, probably much more. Because your income should grow over time. That $2 million plus is your human capital. No stock portfolio, no real estate investment, nothing in your 20s comes close to that number. Your career is the engine. Everything else is what the engine produces.
I have never thought about it that way. My career is worth $2 million or more.
At minimum, and that is why we are talking about it on a finance show. Because if your career is your biggest financial asset, then growing your income is one of the most important financial decisions you can make. And yet, most personal finance content completely ignores it.
That is true. Most of what I have read or watched is about cutting expenses. Spend less on coffee. Cancel your subscriptions. Cook at home.
Right, and all of that is fine. We talked about it in episode 2. Awareness matters. But here is the fundamental problem with only focusing on expenses. Cutting expenses has a floor. Growing income has no ceiling. You can only cut your spending so much at some point. You have eliminated everything you can, and you are still not saving enough? But your income? There is no upper limit. You can always earn more. You can always develop new skills. You can always create more value.
Expenses have a floor. Income has no ceiling. That is a powerful way to think about it.
And it changes your entire approach to wealth building. Instead of just playing defense, spending less, you start playing offense too, earning more, and when you combine both, that is when wealth building accelerates.
Okay, I am sold on the why. So how do you actually grow your income? Because it is not like I can just walk into my boss's office and say, "Hey, pay me more."
Actually, that is closer to the truth than you think. Let us start with the most immediate and most overlooked income lever, negotiation.
Salary negotiation, I have never done it, not once.
And you are not alone. Studies show that only about 30 to 40% of people negotiate their salary when they get a job offer. The rest just accept whatever is offered. And here is the stat that should make everyone's jaw drop. The average person who negotiates earns over $1 million more over their career than someone who never negotiates $1 million from having a conversation.
$1 million? From just asking?
It compounds if you negotiate a $5,000 higher starting salary at age 25. That is not just $5,000. Every future raise is calculated as a percentage of your current salary. Every bonus, every retirement contribution match. That initial $5,000 compounds into hundreds of thousands over a career. And then, when you change jobs and negotiate again, it compounds further.
So it is compound interest applied to your salary, the same force we have been talking about since episode 1.
Exactly the same force working for you or against you if you never negotiate. You are leaving compound growth on the table. And here is the thing that stops most people. Fear. They are afraid the employer will rescind the offer. They are afraid of seeming greedy. They are afraid of the awkwardness. But the reality is, employers expect negotiation. They build room for it into their offers. When you do not negotiate, you are literally leaving money that was budgeted for you on the table.
They expect it? So I am not being rude by negotiating?
Not at all. In fact, many hiring managers respect candidates who negotiate. It shows confidence and self-awareness. The key is to do it professionally. Know your market value. Have data to support your ask. Be respectful, but firm, and remember, the worst they can say is no. They are not going to take the offer away because you asked for more.
Okay, so negotiation is the quick win. What about the longer game? How do you grow your income over years, not just in one conversation?
This is where the concept of career capital comes in. Career capital is the combination of three things: your skills, your reputation, and your network. Think of it like a portfolio. Just like you would invest in stocks and bonds to build financial capital, you invest in skills, reputation, and relationships to build career capital, and the more career capital you have, the more you can earn.
Career capital, skills, reputation, network. That is a useful framework.
Let us break each one down. Skills are the most obvious. The more valuable and rare your skills are, the more the market will pay for them. And I want to emphasize both words: valuable and rare. A skill that is valuable but common does not command a premium. A skill that is rare but not valuable does not either. You want the intersection skills that are both in demand and hard to find.
So it is supply and demand applied to your abilities.
Exactly. And this leads to a concept I love called the T-shaped professional. Imagine the letter T. The vertical bar represents deep expertise in one area. You are really, really good at one thing. The horizontal bar represents broad knowledge across many areas. You understand enough about adjacent fields to collaborate, communicate, and connect dots that specialists miss.
So you are a specialist with range.
That is a great way to put it. T-shaped professionals are incredibly valuable because they can go deep when needed, but also see the big picture. They can talk to engineers and marketers and finance people. They bridge gaps, and companies pay a premium for people who can bridge gaps.
Okay, what about reputation?
Reputation is what people say about you when you are not in the room. It is built over time through consistent, quality work. Delivering on promises, being reliable, being the person others want to work with. Reputation is slow to build and fast to destroy, which is why it is so valuable. A strong reputation means opportunities come to you. You do not have to chase them.
And network?
Network is not about collecting business cards or having thousands of connections online. It is about genuine relationships with people who know your work and trust your judgment. The best career opportunities, the ones that lead to significant income jumps, almost always come through relationships. Someone recommends you. Someone thinks of you for a role. Someone brings you into a project. Your network is the distribution channel for your skills and reputation.
Skills, reputation, network, and they all feed each other. Better skills build your reputation. A better reputation expands your network. A bigger network creates opportunities to use your skills.
That is exactly right. It is a flywheel, and the more you invest in it, the faster it spins.
Okay, so I want to ask about something specific. You mentioned investing in skills. What does that actually look like? Because I hear invest in yourself all the time, but it always feels vague.
Fair point. Let me make it concrete. Investing in yourself means spending time and sometimes money to acquire skills that increase your market value. That could be taking an online course in a high-demand skill. It could be getting a certification that your industry values. It could be learning a new tool or technology. It could be developing soft skills like public speaking or leadership. The key question to ask is, if I learn this skill, will it make me more valuable to employers or clients? If the answer is yes, it is a good investment.
And this is different from going back to school for another degree.
It can be. Another degree is sometimes the right move, but often, targeted skill development is faster, cheaper, and more effective. A 3-month online course that teaches you a specific in-demand skill can have a higher return on investment than a 2-year degree. It depends on your field and your goals, but the point is, do not default to more school. Think strategically about what skills the market values and find the most efficient way to acquire them.
Think like an investor. What is the return on this investment of my time and money?
Exactly. And here's the beautiful thing. The highest return investment you can make is in yourself, especially in your 20s and 30s, because you have decades of earning ahead of you. A skill you learn at 25 pays dividends for 40 years. A skill you learn at 55 pays dividends for 10. The earlier you invest in your career capital, the more it compounds.
There is that word again, compounds. Everything in finance comes back to compounding.
Because compounding is the fundamental force. It works on money, it works on skills, it works on relationships, it works on knowledge. The earlier you start, the more powerful it becomes.
Okay, I want to ask one more thing. What about side income? Is that something people should think about?
Yes, but with a caveat. I am not talking about hustle culture. I am not talking about working 80 hours a week, or burning yourself out with 3 side jobs. I am talking about strategic skill, monetization. If you have a skill that is valuable, there are often ways to earn from it outside your main job. Freelancing, consulting, teaching, creating content. The key is that it should leverage skills you already have, or are building, and it should not destroy your health or your primary career.
So it is not about working more hours, it is about making your existing skills work harder.
That is the right way to think about it, and side income has another benefit beyond the money. It diversifies your income sources if you only have one source of income. Your job, you are one layoff away from zero income. If you have a side income stream, even a small one, you have a cushion. It connects right back to the safety net we built in episodes 4 and 5.
Everything connects. I love that about this series.
All right, let us do our recap.
Number 1. Your career is your biggest financial asset. Your ability to earn money, your human capital, is worth more than any investment portfolio, especially when you are young. Treat it like the multi-million-dollar asset it is.
Number 2. Cutting expenses has a floor. Growing income has no ceiling. Wealth building requires both defense and offense. Do not just focus on spending, less focus on earning more too.
Number 3. Negotiate your salary. The average person who negotiates earns over $1 million more over their career. One conversation can change your financial trajectory.
Number 4. Build your career capital, skills, reputation, and network. Become a T-shaped professional with deep expertise and broad knowledge. The more career capital you have, the more you earn.
And number 5, your homework. Research the market rate for your role. Use salary research sites and talk to people in your industry if you are underpaid by 10% or more. Start preparing to negotiate or plan your next move. If you are fairly paid, identify one skill that would increase your value by 20% and start learning it this month, not next quarter this month.
And remember, investing in yourself is the highest return investment you will ever make. Your skills compound just like money does. Start early, start now.
So what is coming up next? And I have to say, I think I know.
What do you think?
I think we are getting close to the end of Season 0. We have built the whole foundation: mindset, spending, debt, emergency fund, insurance, savings, income. I think it is time to put it all together.
You are exactly right. We are getting close to the end of Season 0. But before we get to the finale, There is something important we need to do first. We need to set your financial goals, because you have built this incredible foundation: mindset, spending, debt, emergency fund, insurance, savings, income. But we have never asked the most important question: what are you building toward? Investing without a goal is like driving without a destination.
That is a good point. I have been doing all this work, but I have never actually written down what I am working toward.
Next episode, we fix that. We are going to set your financial goals, short-term, medium-term, and long-term. And I will show you why people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them.
All right, if this episode made you think differently about your career and your income, follow Calm Investors wherever you are listening and share this with someone who is stuck in the expense-cutting only mindset. Sometimes the biggest financial move you can make is not cutting a subscription. It is having a conversation with your boss.
And remember, your income has no ceiling. Invest in yourself, the returns are extraordinary.
See you in episode 8.
See you there. Stay calm, build wealth.